Hello, my name is Rebecca Murphy, and today I will be interviewing famous author Mark Twain via Skype. In this interview, we will be discussing Twain's use of the Mississippi River as a way for the characters in his novel to escape. Seems like he's ready for us. Hello, Mark. It's nice to finally be able to do this.
Yes it is.
Now, before we get into your writing, why don't we find out a little more about you?
Very well. First off, I was born in Florida, Missouri, with the birth name of Samuel Langhorne Clemens. I took the liberty of later changing it to Mark Twain when I began writing. When I was a young boy, my family moved just outside of Hannibal, and this place had such a strong impact on me that I used it as inspiration for the town St. Petersburg, which had such a strong impact on the characters in my book, Tom and Huck. Now, growing up outside of Hannibal, I spent most of my time near the banks of the Mississippi River. And this is why the Mississippi River plays such a big role when it comes to my writing.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mark, because after reading your books, I've noticed that there's a common theme seen in all of them. All the characters in your books seem to use the Mississippi as an escape. Is that true?
Why, yes, it is very true. All my characters in my books use the Mississippi as an escape, myself included. In my novel, Life on the Mississippi, I tell of my days as a steamboat pilot on the river. You see, when I was a teenager, I always had the idea that I was going to travel the Amazon on a boat, but then I figured I was too young and I was just dreaming. So instead, I got a job training to be a steamboat pilot. Around the age of 21, I realized that being a steamboat pilot was all that I wanted from life. And I used the Mississippi as an escape from everything else going on in my life, so I could just be on the river enjoying the life that it brought to me.
Wow, I never would have guessed that a steamboat could bring so much joy to a person's life, but I guess it can. Now, let's start talking about some of your other novels. In The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Tom and Huck also use the river as an escape. Would you care to explain how?
Of course. You see, in the novel, Tom and Huck both have very big ambitions. They aspire to be pirates, find buried treasure, and ultimately, in the end, they want to become rich. But their choices are looked down upon by the rest of their village, and this causes them to want to run away to a place where they can be themselves. This place for them is McDougal's Cave. The Mississippi River is located right next to the cave, and the boys use the river as an escape from the judgment of society. When they get on the river and they start heading towards the cave, they know that they'll be able to be themselves without getting judged by anyone. And that's why it's such an important part of their life.
I find it amazing that you're able to make such a simple thing like a river into something so much more meaningful.
Well, I mean, come on. Look who you're talking to. One of the greatest authors in all of writing history.
I guess you're right. Anyway, in The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, one of the main ideas is how Jim and Huck use the Mississippi as an escape. Could you tell us more about it?
Well, just like in Tom Sawyer, Huck is still trying to escape the restraints of society and all of its strict rules. Jim, on the other hand, is trying to escape the restraints of slavery. The two find each other on Jackson's Island and they decide that they're going to run away from their problems together. They start traveling down the Mississippi towards the Free States because that's the only place where Jim will be able to be a free man. And Huck, he doesn't care where he goes as long as he gets away from the strict rules in society. They make a few stops on their trip but every time they go on land, they always find themselves trouble. I make it very well known in the novel that the two only feel truly free when they're on the river. And they feel this way because the river is what helped them escape from their problems, and that's why they feel so comfortable when they're on it.
Wow, it's amazing how you're able to do that in so many of your novels. And now I have one final question for you. Do you think it's safe to say that a theme you use in your writing is the character's use of the Mississippi River as an escape?
Yes, the character's use of the Mississippi River as an escape is a theme throughout all of my novels, and I will continue to use it in my future ones because of how big an impact it has on that character's life.
Thank you for Skyping with me today, Mark. It's been a pleasure. After interviewing with Mark Twain, it's clear to see that he uses the Mississippi River as a way for his characters to escape in his novels.